Okay, we're live.
Nice.
Okay, so what we're doing today is continuation of last Wednesday. The goal is to fix the broken aspect tests. So in updating what we needed to, like if you watched Wednesday, you see we broke some tests. So our goal is to fix those tests. That's our primary goal, and then yeah, we'll keep going from there. So I'll share my screen. So today with us is Peter. Peter's one of the backend engineers on Monitor Respond team. So he's going to help me through the failing Ruby tests. Okay, so for starters, we'll have a look at the actual failing test and what we've where Tristan and I got to last time. So here is our failing test. The problem is that we're now we're injecting the incident path, I think is the problem. And we weren't previously. So the test was expecting the no incident path, and it got an incident path. You see from the plus. So then to fix it, what we tried to do is just dump an incident path. But the problem is that namespace 4 is not the same name every time. So I'll just run this test again to see where we're at now. So I just did just a couple little changes. So tried to add like the static path for this test. But this didn't work because it's not always namespace 4, it's not always project 4. And then I thought, okay, well, the next step would be to get the dynamic path and inject it into the expectation of the test, same as we've done, like here, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, let's start. So I have a question about the incident path actually being passed to the front end, because in the implementation I'm seeing that we are passing a symbol to the path helper. If you go to the helper, to the production code, incident helper,
sorry,
I think
in the view.
Yeah, if you go to the incident, no, it's let's start in the incident helper RB. So basic, yeah, right. So on line 16, 16, we are passing a symbol incidents to issues incident path. So usually this should be like a very specific, this should be an ID of an incident, or an incident object. So I am wondering if we don't have an incident here, because I think this is incidents data helper is kind of used on the list page, right? Of the incidents page we have. Is it correct? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I don't really know how this works. How would I find that incidents?
Incidents underscore data. I think if you search for incidents underscore data, you should be able to find it in one of the handles, I guess. Search data. So the helper itself is being called on app views projects incidents index HTML HAML.
Sorry, say that again.
So I think the helper incidents underscore data is being used on a view called app views.
App views
projects incidents index HTML. Views like not Vue.js, but like Rails views. Sorry, it's always confusing.
Yeah, nice.
Projects.
Incidents. Can I just search like this? Is that going to work?
Yeah, I don't know. And in I think index, yeah, this one.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this helper is being used on the show page of the incidents. So at that point, we don't have any incident object to construct a path from, right? So
okay.
My question is now, if you go back to the helper and the incident path is actually, how is this property being used by the front end?
Okay.
Because my impression is that we are using this property in the front end and kind of like right now it's a static string, right? So it says go to the project /incident/incident as a word. So if you look at the failure, actually, you have in your bottom terminal, yeah, you see the incident path is namespace project issues /incident/incident. So there's incident twice. The first one is basically the route. The second one is the symbol we are passing to the helper, so to the path helper. So my question is, how is the incident path property being used on the front end side? So do we need to replace on the front end the last part? Right now it's incident, right? With a kind of ID on the front end. It's all happening on the front end, or how is it used? Because if we need to do it, we need to come up like with perhaps another symbol or string we are passing to this path to construct the resulting path or the property. Because otherwise, if we want to replace incident with ID, for example, you would like kind of match it twice, because it is twice in the property, right? It says issue /incident/incident. So I would suggest to either pass like an capitalized ID or IID or whatever, and then in the front end code we would replace this capitalized ID or IID with the ID of the incident incident we are rendering, right? So I'm not just my guess right now that we are using it this way. So it would be interesting to see how the incident path is being used in the front end.
So what we want to see is how we use it in the front end. So how we use it in the HAML file.
Not in the HAML, but in the Vue.js, because like I understand that in the property or all the properties of incidents data helper are being rendered in the HAML file. And this is then being picked up by front-end Vue.js code, right?
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So I'll find the Vue file. I'll just have a look in the merge request. That'd be easiest. So I think it's incident tabs.
And just heads up, I think we are defining in this merge request we are defining incident path in 2 Rails helpers. So just to be aware that we are not confusing them. So I assume they are both needed, but just like making sure that we are not looking for the other one. I think the other one is being defined in the other helper. I forgot the name already. Let me check. It is in it's in issuables helper. So there we are actually defining also incident path, but for a very specific issuable. In this case, issuable is kind of a different word of for incident in our case.
So is that a mistake, or
I'm not sure, because I don't know how it's used on the front end. So perhaps so if it's very likely that we need both incident path properties being defined but I like, while searching for the incident path in the Vue.js code, I'd like to make sure like we are not looking for the other one. So we are looking.
Yeah, sure.
So just to
Okay.
so we don't waste time and like talk about code which is probably fine. But...
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the merge request. I'm gonna try to find like, because if it's new, we added it, right? So I'm gonna try to work out where we added it. Here. So we're adding it for the router. Because what we want to do is tell the router what the base path is.
Is this the correct property incident path? Or where, or to put it differently, where is the other one defined, in which file?
On
the Vue.js. So just to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. If you click on the issuables helper,
this one?
Yeah, issuables, the other one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this one. There we also define incident path, and this is also being passed, I assume, to Vue.js, right? And in this case, we are, as you see, we are constructing the property by using like a specific issuables or incident in that case. So this path is very similar to what we are seeing in the aspect failure, but contains, instead of the word incident, like a specific ID.
So the ID, is that the ID?
Yes, and this makes sense for this helper, because like I assume this is like the view, like the show view template for incident, I guess.
So show view template for incident. Okay.
Let me find issuables helper. It was right. Sorry, I sometimes struggle to
no, good. So these two are the same, right? This is issuable.project.
The name is the name is the same, so the property name is the same, but for the first one, for the upper one, we don't have a specific incident or issuable object.
Sorry, what is an issuable?
Issuable is yeah. Okay, so I think at GitLab at some point we defined the word issuables. I'm not very sure about the history, so I might be very wrong, but issuable is used to be for a long time like an kind of abstraction for issues and merge requests. And
abstraction issues.
Yeah, so
okay,
perhaps not abstraction, but kind of a name for sharing similar code. Because when you think about an issue and think about a merge request, they have a lot of functionality in common, right? So like, I'm not talking about the main functionality, but like adding comments or assigning milestones, adding labels, adding assignees, and so on. So you have a lot of common code and common functionality, actually. And as far as I understand, the word issuable was chosen for that. Later we added like even more more issuable types, I would say, like epics, and I think it's even more. I forgot the list. This is kind of, I would say, legacy, because I think right now we are moving towards work items or something like that. So, but you will find the word issuable a lot still in our code base. So every time you see issuable, you can think of this like object or variable being either an issue or a merge request or an epic. I forgot the other ones. I guess there are like two more.
That makes sense.
So we are defining like the two properties, but they are used differently, I assume. So the upper one is being used on a list page, where we actually, if you can bring up the incident issue list, so we are on this on
Incident issue list.
on GitLab.com. Like, do you have an example project where you can show the functionality we are actually modifying right now?
Yeah.
Let me send you the Tanuki project, because
I've got it linked here.
I sent you. Sorry.
I've got it bookmarked.
Yeah, perfect. This is great. So this is like the list of incidents, and my assumption, as far as I understand, the incidents data helper, we also added incident path 2, is used on this page. And if you click on a specific incident, for example, on this page, I assume we are using the other one. What is it called again? From the issuables helper, issuable initial data, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry, issue only initial data. So and if you go back to the incident issue list, how is the list of the incidents rendered? Because if you see like many properties of an issue, right? Severity, incident status, and so on, and
yeah,
you can already like click on the incident, and this, like, if you hover over this already gives us the path to the incident, right? So apparently we already know how to navigate from the list view of list template to a specific or individual incident. So my question would be, do we even need this property being defined if we already know that how to navigate, or like, how to link to an incident?
So we're using it in the case of like when we load the incident, we've set up a new router, and it needs to use this as the base path. So then it can add /metrics, /alerts, /timeline.
Yeah, this I understand. My question is, right now you are on GitLab.com, which is kind of the latest deployment, which does not contain our changes, right?
Yeah, correct.
From the merge request. So, but like when looking at the list of incidents, we already, like the front end, I guess, is already aware of how to go from the list template to a specific incident template by having already the incident path available.
Okay.
So this code already exists now in our merge request. If you go back to our merge request, the upper definition of incident path, this one, is kind of like defining incident paths, but I wonder for what reason. Why do we need this definition if we already know how to go from the list page, like incident page, sorry, to the...
So this is the list page?
Yes, I would assume so, because if you expand the code a little bit, the chain, go up, this should be incidents data, and we saw this helper being called in the index hammer, right?
Yeah.
So this should be like the view, the list template where we just were on.
I wonder if this is a mistake. Like, why have we added it here?
Yeah,
maybe we were adding it in both places just in case.
Yeah, because like apparently the Vue.js code already like renders the link to a specific incident. So perhaps we don't need it anymore.
Which would be the issue path?
To be fair, I don't know how it's constructed.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, no worries. But we could remove this and see what happens, right?
Yeah, we could do it. So perhaps we should also check the changes of the of the Vue.js code, which most likely uses the incident path property right now.
Okay. So this is where we use the incident path in the index.js that's creating the view, because we're creating the router and then passing the router to the Vue app. And we're only doing that once. There's no other place.
One question, if I read issues show index.js, because I always got confused by the naming convention on the Vue.js side. Show index.js, what is it? Is it when you view a specific incident or when you list?
Oh, it's a good question. I think it's when you look at a specific one.
Okay. So
this is all pretty new to me.
Okay. No, okay, no worries.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure show is a specific.
Okay, so yeah, sorry. So for now, I think if it's like a specific one, so if you go back to gitlab.com, our example, our Tanuki example, it's basically this page, right?
This page, yeah.
Yeah. So if it's the case, let's then just remove the other definition from the Rails code.
So we don't need.
Yeah. This I would because like as far as I see, we haven't done any changes on the front end sites to use this newly defined property. So that's removed.
Cool. Great.
I guess the test should pass because. So, by the way, if you scroll up to the failure and the diff, basically on the terminal window, you see a little bit down, please, where you see the difference. You see a little although we are just failing a single property, it's showing more. This is kind of a aspect matcher diff, I would say, confusion. It's always tripped me up in the past because we are really just missing the incident path, the diff, but a lot of more are showing up, and we can just ignore the other ones. So we are good with that.
Okay, no problem.
So just we don't need to fix all of them. I guess the tests.
It still might be failing because I've told it.
Published available in SLA feature available. Why
isn't my change listed? Sorry, as I changed this and I saved it.
Yeah, it's fine. But if you scroll down, it doesn't complain about the incident part anymore. Or does it? Okay. So I'm sorry.
It does. But
you added this one. Okay. Sorry.
Manually added here.
Yeah.
So just try to remove that, and then should I remove this, or is it still going to pass with this?
If it's not needed, let's remove it. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I didn't set this up, but it's running this RoboCube every time I save it.
Which is
so
good.
it takes a little bit to save. I guess it's good. Yeah. How do you pronounce that? Is it RuboCop?
RuboCop, yeah.
RuboCop.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Ruby cop.
Yeah, I think it's a meme from the movie, right?
Yeah. Makes sense. Cool. Passing. Okay, great.
Yeah, I love to fix tests by removing code, actually.
So that's surprising. Okay, so I guess it's surprising because like this one, sorry, how do I say this? So issuables helper, the test for this should be broken, right?
Yes, but I think we don't have any.
Okay. Cool.
Easy. Easy. That was easy. Perhaps we have actually. Let me find out. Yeah, I think we have. I'm not sure if it's specifically for the incidents, but yeah, we have one. But like not specifically for this method, because this method is like kind of, I would say, private method, and only being used. Well, it's
What
not
does that
really
mean?
private. I mean, it's not really used outside of the helper itself in like in view templates, but it is only used by another helper, which is called issuable initial data. So if you go to the app helpers issuable helper Ruby code, you will see that
To which?
if you go to the issuables helper.
Yep. Oh, that's incidents helper. Issuables.
Yeah, issuables. Yeah, it's. I think you have to remove one E.
Well, which one?
Yeah, this one. Yeah,
okay.
perfect.
Issuables helper.
And if you, we've added in line 274, we added incident pass, but this method issue only initial data, which is we are defining the incident pass is used in the method above. So if you scroll up, this method, it's being used on line 200.
So this is this the name of the method?
Yes, yes. So I guess we are not really testing the method specifically, because it's not really kind of exposed outside of the helper method, I would say. So it could be even private, but like in Ruby, it's if you have a module, this is like a helper module, right? And you have a bunch of method definition inside a module. You can mark methods as private. This also this only means that you are not allowed to define a receiver before calling, or like in front of calling the helper, meaning you cannot do like foo dot issue only initial data. You have to omit the receiver. So you only can do issue only initial data. The problem in Rails, or not the problem, but caveat is that every helper you define in Rails is automatically exposed to view templates. So exposed meaning the modules are literally included in the template views. So from there you can even call private methods, because this is how Ruby works. If you include a module into a class or other module, all the private methods are available. So the only rule you have to kind of match is from the Ruby side is you are not allowed to explicitly define a receiver. So you cannot do like foo dot initial, and if you are not doing this, you are happy to or welcome to use even private methods. It's just a side note from the Ruby land. So what this means is we are probably missing tests. And I'm not sure. So,
but I heard that we're getting a new engineer in our team to focus on tests, so maybe we can create an issue for them.
Oh, nice! This is great. I wonder, like, if we could do it, or we could add a test. If you go to the issuables helper spec, actually, we might be able to add this we could expand the specs to match our newly added property. So if you go to spec helpers issue, sorry.
So we could do this here, but it's going to have to be in a separate merge request anyway.
I'm not sure, because like we are adding we are adding basically the property right now. So if you look issuables initial data, if you search for the this one. If you scroll down, you will already see that we have a bunch of attributes defined. Expected data, and I guess we are not really. So we are missing at least 2 properties from what I can see, or perhaps even more. But this is fine as long as we add like a new one which we are basically adding.
Okay.
So if you say, yeah, after is hidden, just add issuable path. And we could either copy and paste like an example from the expected data above, like endpoint or update endpoint, and modify it at our will. We can do it, but to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of. So the reason I see, or like the way I see route helpers is kind of like methods to my mind. So like a route helper will return like a string, which is basically a route to our application. And if we what I'm trying to say is we can. I don't have a problem to use a route helper in specs as well, although it feels kind of cheating to use like to assert.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But
so we're saying like we expect from this function the output of that function. Is that what
right?
You mean?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cheating basically, and I kind of agree. On the other hand, we are testing the implementation details of the router helper every time. So if you think about that, this, like if we were to change the route for issues, for example, suddenly like a lot of specs will fail because we are not using the method over, like, to check what is to check the property, but we are basically checking the implementation detail, meaning like this is a string /issue/IID and so on. But having said that, I'm fine to just copy and paste and adjust the string right now. At a later point, I try to perhaps come up with an issue to address this, because like I've seen that a lot, that we are using like the specific path, and I think we shouldn't do it. So in this case,
we shouldn't do the string.
Like yeah, I think we should use in this case the route helper methods, because I see it as an abstraction to providing a string to route, right? So I don't think we should replicate every time like the implementation of the route helper, which for me doesn't make sense. But again, I'm fine to go with the flow for now and just add incidents right before the issue IID. So if you go to if you go to line 350, and yeah, you have the issue string /issue issues. We have to append /incident. Yeah, and I think the property name is actually camel cased. So right now the property name is issuable _path, but I think it will be camel case. So we have to do like this, and this should work before you run this.
Or incidents?
I think it's incident. Just before you run a spec, what I like to do usually, because we expect the spec to pass, right? But it can pass for many reasons. What I want to see as a good old TDD test-driven development guy, I would like to see a red failure. For this, just like perhaps
sort of one.
Yeah, perfect. Well, not one, but X, because one, it could be the ID, right? So you know, or something like make it invalid. And now I would expect the spec to fail, and instead of running like can you run just the spec for the method?
I'm not
sure if
I don't know how to do that.
I can. Okay, I can guide you. You can, if you paste you can press Control W to remove more words. Yeah, and if you say space -e space and then the basically the name of the context or the thing you want to test. So yeah, if you go to line, yeah, I think this is enough. Yeah, because it's shorter. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It can match substrings. So yeah, you could, but you have to put quotes around it. So because otherwise hash is being interpreted as a shell command comment.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
good.
Yeah, this should now only run the specs for this one, and I am sure it's all doable in VS Code as well. But is it VS Code?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is VS Code.
VS Code.
But I don't know how to do it.
How to do what?
I guess you can run the specs from within VS Code as well by like.
Oh right.
But I'm not sure how to do it.
Yeah, I know how to do it in the JavaScript ones, I think. Well, I know how to use the debugger. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
You scroll up, you see, okay, so scroll up, it's nice. Okay.
So
it's weird to see. So I'm confused by the diff because I would expect it to see a similar diff or a much shorter diff actually. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Okay, cool. So if we were just to remove the
X, it should pass.
The X, and it should pass. For this, we should be good. To match including. Okay, this is perhaps. I was confused by the diff. I was expecting a much shorter diff, similar to what we've seen before on the other specs.
Is match including meaning like it can be this object, but it doesn't have to be this order? No.
It doesn't have to be this order, and you can miss out some keys actually. I think you could even. It's still failing.
It did run again, right? It's too fast.
Is it? I feel like running ASPEC nowadays is slow for several reasons, and we try to fix this, but first of all, I think we don't need to create a user every time. Yeah, it's failing for some reason. Okay, let's investigate why is this failing. Issuable. It is. So issuable path is namespace 1, project 1, issues incident 1. If you go down, scroll down.
This one, right?
Yeah, and this is incident path is also called incident path. It's also so it's kind of same, right?
Looks the same to me. I spell incident, right?
Yeah. This is strange.
That's the only thing we changed, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, hang on. Issuables path and incident path.
A nice spot. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it should read incident path actually. So yeah, sorry about that.
This one.
Yeah, issuable. Yeah.
No problem.
Can you just run the specs and just like for giggles, can you remove the hash including stuff, right? While the specs are running? Yeah. Remove and the parentheses as well. Yeah. And if we expect the specs now to pass, if you.
Yeah, it needs to wait to save that Rubu code.
Okay, so it's running every time. Is it not? And it's running in foreground, so it's blocking actually your UI.
It doesn't save it until it's finished running. So if I run the test, it runs it on the previous version.
Oh, okay.
It's just a bit annoying for this, but it's useful because I don't know how anything works in Ruby, so it's good to have that help running. Okay, cool. So we're still failing, but
no, it's failing for different reasons. Yeah, if you undo your changes with the hash including, now it should pass. I thought you were just already starting the ASPEC, but it took some time, so it's fine. Yeah. because of Robocop. So Robocop to blame as always. Now we expect to pass, so hash including doesn't work. It's fine for now. I can follow up on this to make it like I'm kind of disturbed by the diff. It shouldn't be that way. Should be printed nicer. Yeah, now it passes. Nice. Okay, perfect. So
right.
Let's move on. So do you have more stuff to be fixed on the backend side? I can try to help, or you can try to teach me on the front end. I'm happy to help. But I'm a JavaScript noob, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna. No, I didn't commit it already. It's fine. So I'm going to commit this, and then the other problem we have that's Ruby related is this this comment that Tristan noticed.
About using. Okay, this one. Okay.
So, this is testing my understanding. Did you watch the video last time? Did you understand?
No.
What Tristan was saying is a problem. No, that's fine.
I watched some parts of it, but apparently I missed this one. So this is an issue.
No worries. So I think what happens is, so he was saying, so when you navigate to an incident, so there's two ways you can navigate to an incident. Let me show you. I'm sorry?
Go ahead, sorry.
So one way is from incidents. We have a list of incidents, and if you go via this, you go to issues/incident. But if you go to the list of issues, some issues are incidents. So not all issues. I know you know this one. Over explaining for the audience, right?
I understand. And you can even add. We added a type filter to the issue. So if you go into the search bar, and you have, I think it's called type. So you can say equals and then say incident. Cool. So right now, as you see, we have 4 types of issuables or issues or issue types, I think we call it. And now we should be only viewing the issues with the issue type incident.
Okay, cool. I didn't know you could do type task. Is that like within an issue you have the tasks? Is that searching for them?
I think we added something for that a few milestones ago, perhaps 1 or 2. I had to.
So the point is, if you navigate from here, you should get issues without incident. So if you look at the same incident, navigating from here or navigating from here, you have a different URL.
Yeah, but the contents are the same, right? And the behavior as well.
Contents the same. Behavior is the same.
Okay.
And this is on purpose. And Tristan was saying we don't want to change this behavior. This was purposeful. Right. So
do you remember why? So I remember the discussions actually that we didn't want to, like, if users are browsing because it is surprising to switch the navigation bar on the left, right? If you are on the issues list and browsing the issues, you suddenly end up being in the monitor incidents sidebar. Right? This would be surprising. Okay. This I understand. Okay, if it's still the case, I'm good with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then the problem is on our current implementations. This is the GDK. This is an incident on a current. So we add incident to the URL. Did you see that? So we go issues.
Oh, okay.
We go to an incident, and we're adding incident to the URL, which is not the desired behavior.
But who is doing this? Who is adding the incident?
The front end router is the front end is the front end. I think this is where this bit is super confusing for me. So let's have a look at the changes. So my understanding is on the Where are we? Hang on. So we had to add the routes, add the accepted routes to this bit here. Okay. So when we go to this bit, let's have a look in VS Code. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. 377.
So what we're doing here is so I think it's this bit that's adding to the route, or it might be when we create the router.
Yeah, I think we are talking about
it might be when we create the router.
So yeah, we are talking about two different router implementations, right? On one we have backend router, which we are looking out now at, right? And in this merge request, we only added like 3 more ways or 3 more routes actually to the incidents section or incidents route. So timeline metrics alerts. So we didn't touch any kind of backend code in that regards. And actually, this code, if we were just to add the routes, and they are all pointing to the very same controller and action incident show, we haven't changed any kind of behavior on the backend side at least. So my assumption is that the Vue.js router in a way is changing the URL when clicking on.
Okay, well, that makes sense, and I can fix that then, because then when we get the base URL, excuse me, when we get the base URL, we can just check on the what Tristan saying. That's why
there's an issue. Yeah. This Let's read Tristan comment. Perhaps it's probably related to the fact that we are weirdly 2 controllers for 2 routes. So maybe incident incident. So from this comment, I don't really get what causes the redirect actually. And one idea would be that it might be caused by the backend. The other one, it might be caused by the front-end router, right? So we don't know it yet. So in order to find out which one to blame, we could perhaps comment the route definitions on the backend side first and verify on GDK that if this code is gone, that the redirect is also gone.
That makes sense. But what I feel like is happening is just every time you go to an incident, you go to this, you go through this path. But when we define the base path, we're actually using the incident path instead of either the incident or the issue path. So even if we're looking at it as if it's an issue, we're using the incident path. So I guess we can either do like on the back end, we can say like, if we go through the incident path, use the incident path. If we go through the issue path, use the issue path.
Okay.
But then again, we're going to have to. That's not
so in a way we should. Okay, now I see. So in a way we should not call it incident path if we want to go that route. Route is the wrong word, by the way. But more like issuable path. So with that we would.
Or base path.
Yeah, the problem is, you've seen we support a lot of more issue types, which is not which issue type to remind you, it's might be an issue, an incident, a test case, I think it was, and the task, right? So right now we support all of them, and if we were to choose a generic name like base path, you would need to support all of them.
Okay.
And we can do it, but
so,
and I'm already looking at definitions. Perhaps we are already doing this, but I don't see issue ref now. Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead. I was.
That's right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So we could do it on the front end by saying, what's the front end? On the router, but on the base by just like passing the string of the base. No. So what we could do is we could look at the current like URL, window.location, and we could compare it to the base, and we could say like, if window.location has the word incident in it, then we should we should leave incident in the base. If it doesn't have incident in it, then we can cut it out. That would work, but it feels a little bit messy.
We could also use the past issue type. So we could determine the very same logic, not on looking into location bar, but location string, but we also pass the property issue type. You could base on that.
All incidents, right?
Sorry?
Aren't they all incidents?
No, but you get the issue type issue or incident or test case, or so that way you don't have to match the location bar or location string.
To confirm that, so if we're here, if we go, this is the broken one. So if we go here, issue number, this page, the issue type is still incident, right?
Yes.
But we're looking at it as if it's an issue. So what we need to know is, are we looking at it as an issue or are we looking at it as an incident?
Yeah, for this, we could use the property of, it's called issue type actually, which is also passed. And this should, because it's already, if you look into the Ruby helper again, where we defined incident path, on the very same list, there's issue type actually exposed. Not in the specs, but in the production code. But you can, I think in specs, we are also testing, you see online, or this one.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. On line 347, we are asserting that the issue type is actually issue. And again, this is the name issue type is a little bit confusing, but we couldn't name it type, and I think at that point we couldn't come up with a better name. But issue type is either issue or incident or test case, I think it is, and the task, right? You mentioned.
Okay. So then what we could do in the front end is we could look at issue type, and if it is sorry, could we do this on the back end where we say, so forget an issue helper, when we create that's issuable helper. That's the wrong one. Okay. So this one where we say incident path, can we update this function?
Yeah, I understand, but in this case, okay, so can you let me check something, because I just realized I was struggling to find. So The problem is we can edit on the backend, but if we were to name the property, like for example, base, I think you called it base path or something like that, right? You would need to support all types of issues, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I think I just realized if you go to the, sorry, I need to switch back. If you scroll up in this file on line 239, there's an endpoint called issuable.
Okay.
And this is interesting. Is if you go to the definition of issuable path.
How do I do that?
I would just click press control and click it, or like command and click. I'm not sure.
Not working.
I'm not sure how it works.
Maybe I need some extra Ruby extensions.
It should work the same way it works in JavaScript. Yeah. So it's basically using the polymorphic path for that. So with that, actually, we are able to create a route string for each issue type, because it's polymorphic, meaning if it's an issue, it just says /issues/ID. If it's an incident, it's issues incident ID, and test case issues test case ID, and for the task. So we are polymorphic in that regard. So we could just use, instead of adding again a new property, we could just use endpoint. And let me verify this on while I think it was
so endpoint in the test is always issues. Then we'd also need to change the test to like sometimes
you could,
issues,
you could
incident, right?
Right. If you just for fun, if you go to the line 326, where we're creating actually an issue. If you add before the author property, if you add ; incident, just one ;; yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So this means this issue is no longer an issue, but an issue of type incident, which is again confusing. And we will just to run the spec, and you can run the spec. And we learned that you can pass like names, but you can also pass the line number. So you can run the spec of this file and append :3 to 5, and this would run the spec by line number. Yeah, if can you remove the -e
instead of like that?
Yeah, perfect. So I rarely use line number because line number changes very often if you add code. But in that case, I'm too lazy to add returns the correct data for an issue to -e, so it's fine, I guess. And it should fail, but we will see the the strings, and I guess endpoint should be at that point. Okay, it's not. Should okay. Well, okay, but it's no. Can you scroll up? I think it's the other way around. I think. No, okay, I messed it up. Okay, so it's not an incident. Why is it not an incident? Issue product. I thought it should be an incident, because if issue type is also issue type is the property issue type, is it issue or incident? Can you in a
property issue type?
Yeah, in a diff. I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there's incident. Okay. So if you scroll up, so the plus of the diff, the pluses is what we are actually.
Issue. So it was issue, now it's incident.
Yeah, we expected this to be incident, but now it's so for some reason doesn't work for. Okay, so the polymorphic thingy does not work for the issue types, would kind of also make sense. Now, if
I'm a little confused. So, like, why on the back end would we have a different issue type?
Yeah, my hope was that the polymorphic path thingy would take into account. Yeah, no, it's still so. An incident is of type issue, but its issue type is incident. It's as confusing. Yeah, it's just in property. So polymorphic path doesn't know about issue types actually, and I need to look it up. If we we have to define like a new property because we don't get this yet, and let me try to find.
But my question is, like, on the back end, why would it be different? Why would we have the issue type? When is that important for the back end? Because I would have thought it's only important for the front end.
Yeah. So our goal was to add like a new property called base path, I guess.
Yeah.
Which export or like points to the specific URL of the issue, taking into account the issue type, right? So if it's an issue, it's issue/ID, incident issues, incident ID, right, and so on.
Yeah.
So for this, so we don't have this functionality yet on the backend, and I wasn't able to find one. So we need to similar what the polymorphic stuff is doing for the issue. We also need to take into account the issue type, so we get the correct path for that. I wanna, yeah. Let me think, because we don't have that yet. So what we could do, and I wonder why we don't have that. It's weird because I would expect to see it somewhere. Work item. So we are slowly moving everything from issue type to work item, which is
sorry, one point here. So when we render this list, we need to know the path, and this path should be issues /. And then when we render this list, we need to know the path, and it has a different path.
I guess this is on the front end. I guess this is done on the front end. So the Vue.js code actually is different, and I think all the rendering is done on the. So I'm pretty sure it's for incidents. I'm not sure if it's for issues actually.
Yeah.
Might be the case that for issues we are still, and I can look it up.
Yeah. So it's just giving us the.
Yeah, I think for issues it's also on the Vue.js part to render this. So.
But it's not telling us it's not giving us the details of the incident. I wonder where that's coming from.
What are you looking at right now?
So I would have expected something to fetch the data of, like, we load the page and then we ask the GraphQL for a list of incidents. Here's our list of incidents, I guess. But I don't know why we haven't I don't know why we have an error. That's strange.
Okay.
And then the second thing is I would have expected, like, the name of the incident.
I think now you have it on the issues. You have to, if you go back to the preview tab in the GraphQL, you were just clicking. Yeah. If you go down. Yeah, this one. There's issues.
Oh,
I think.
see.
Yeah. So there are the nodes.
Cool. Okay. Right. Oh, that's for each project that I'm a part of. I see. Cool. No problem. That makes more sense. Great. Okay. So here we have the ID. And then, yeah, I guess you're right. It's building the URL on the front end because it must. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
It is. Yeah. Let me think. So, okay, one way to fix it was to add a property which tells the front end which path to use, right?
Yeah. And that would be determined by if
by
you're
the
on /incidents or /issues.
Right. Okay, so let's do it like for the two cases. Let's ignore the test case issue type and the task issue type for now.
Sorry, say that again. Let's ignore the test case.
Test underscore case. So we have 4 issue types right now: issue, incident, test case, and task. And
okay. Yep.
We could just implement the property for issue and incident just to make like the GDK work again, or not redirect to the wrong path. So we are good.
Yep.
So if you go to the Ruby helper where we define the incident path, we have, first of all, we have to rename it to I guess base path, right? Or is it even show path? It should be show. Could be. We are showing basically the issue, so it should be like show path,
right? Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And if you scroll up, I think we in this spec we changed this issue to be incident. This we have to remove again. So in line 2, this we have to undo. And if you scroll down, again, the show path of an issue is issues/IID, right? We have to remove it. So okay.
Yep.
So let's go to the. You could run the specs.
Sorry, the endpoint should also be like the endpoint for this issue incident. Right? The endpoint should also be the same, right?
I don't know.
What is the endpoint used for?
So as far as I understand, like right now right now it works already. Meaning, if you are viewing an incident on this /issues path, you can still update. So if you go to your GDK and open the JavaScript console on the network network, and make some changes on a specific view on a specific issue. If you go to the issue list, pick or just remove the incident from the location bar right now. Yeah, go to the issue view of the incident, which is also the incident view, but just a different. If you go to network tab, yeah, and if you, for example, change, I don't know, the title. So my question is this doing? Okay, it's doing GraphQL. Okay, do you know? What I wanted to test is whether like we are actually using the endpoint or the update endpoint at all, or if it's just a legacy. I'm not sure about that, if we are using this or not. What I'm trying to say is,
you can search in the code base, right?
Right now it works, meaning it works even with the wrong issue.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. So if it works, right? We shouldn't update that if it works.
Okay. We shouldn't update this if it's working.
It is working right now. So
Okay.
so why to change all of them if we just like laser focus only on the next task we want to solve, like basically
okay, sure.
expose.
That makes sense.
Perhaps we need to do it later, but right now, like it already works. So
yeah, understood.
okay, so let's not do this. I guess the specs will fail, so let's not run them because we changed the property name from incident path to show path. So let's go back to the production code of issuer helpers. Yeah, helpers, right? Yeah. I think it was line. I forgot already.
Should be able to find incident path, right?
Yeah, this one. Perfect.
Yeah.
So this we need to
base path.
Yeah.
Oh, show path.
So
okay, show path, right?
Show path. So let's add a new method. So basically, if you copy and paste or like cut or remove the value of this, let's extract this into a method. So we would call it like issue show path or issue type show path, something silly we can change. Yeah, and just pass the issuable to it. So yeah, we can skip basically everything which comes after issuable dot. You can remove it.
We're gonna skip.
Remove, yeah. If you go to
everything like this.
Yeah, everything. To S you don't need to S because it will never be nil. Okay. Now define a new method called issues show path. Yeah, just
like
ignore that. Yeah. Perhaps not all of them, but like dev issue show path. So
I don't know how any of this works. You have to
no. Just remove all the body. The body. The parameter is called issuable. The argument, the parameter, rather, argument. So I think it's spelled differently. You have to get rid of the E. I'm not sure if it's the okay. And what we could do is as simple as a case statement, which is switch in JavaScript. So we would do like case issuables, space issuables. Issuable, sorry, return.
The S.
No. Return. New line. Sorry, I'm not sure. I'm not very used to be the navigator.
No worries. New line.
New line. Yeah.
Oh, return.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so case statement in Ruby goes like that. You define case and the object, and the cases are when. So the keyword when, and we want to match not on the issuable, but on the issuable issue type. So if you go up to the case statement again, sorry, and add dot issue underscore type. And there we would, I think the issue type is a string. So if it's an issue and a new line, we would just return. We don't need the keyword return. We don't need it because we don't need return. But we need it's like the last expression in Ruby is a return statement implicitly. Okay. So we could just return the issue project path. So I forgot we had it previously, right? So it's I think it's let me check it. So better trace. It's project underscore issues underscore path. So project underscore issues. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
And we pass to it two variables or two parameters. It's the project, which we can get from the issuable.project. Yeah.
Oops.
Project. And the second one is the issuable itself. So issuable. Okay. New line. For the other type incident, we have to return something else. So when incident, string incident, yeah. We return project issues incident path.
Project
incident.
Issues.
Sorry, yeah. No, it's good. Issues underscore incident. I misspoke. Sorry. Incident path. And we are passing the very same, yeah. And to be fair, usually we want to have a else statement. So let's remove the when issue statement and return the project issue path for everything else. So meaning if you remove the when statement, just remove it and copy and go line below and remove the, yeah, this line goes, yeah, this line goes to the else statement we are just adding. Yeah.
Yes.
And you need to add else. Yeah. Else. And we have to add an end.
That makes sense. Another end.
Yeah. It's yeah, and you need to align this one. Yes, Rubocop will also complain about that. So
so when it's the incident,
so right now we are just dealing with a special case incident where we return a specific path to the incident. Otherwise, we just return like the issues path, and we don't care about the other cases, and probably we don't need to care about until test case or task are doing something specific to this path. They are not doing anything. So this, I guess, should work. So if you were to run tests, they should pass.
Yeah.
On the specs. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one. This one should work. Yeah. But we don't have any specs for incident. I think that's fine. What we could do actually is to. So I expect the spec to pass. In the meanwhile, we could make the issue an incident. Okay, it's failing. Great. Programming.
All right, show path. Okay, we've got issues dot one.
Nice.
Shouldn't be dot. That's weird.
That's weird, yeah. Can you? Okay, project issue.
Yeah, this.
Project. Project issue path.
It's real odd. It's the same one, right? Project issue.
Okay. And so yeah, then it's, I think it's project. I think it's project issue path. Okay, so it's a singular actually. So in the S statement, yeah, it's singular.
Okay.
Let's try this. Because like the convention in Rails goes like this, like the list, like listing resources is always plural, and the actions on an individual resource is singular, I guess. So this should pass, but like
okay.
Now.
So does this also need to be changed?
No, I think this is good, and you can verify it.
So now we want to change it.
Yeah.
So that this is an issue. This is an incident, right?
Yeah, like right. This. And this will fail, but I hope for the right reason. So if
and now we want this to fail, right?
Yes.
So then we can make a new test that just checks.
Yeah. So in ideal world, we would just add a spec for the method we added.
Yeah. But since we're doing like hash includes, we can just copy this whole thing.
Yeah, we don't need show path. Yeah, I'm not sure if we want to do it. So there are two ways to test this. Either test this newly added method, which would be much smaller.
Oh, great, it works.
Yeah, this works. Okay.
Oh, boom.
So, okay, let's ignore the other case for now. So remove the double color incident factory bots trait for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we are green, at least. We are missing specs, but this is fine. We can follow up on this. Let's try on GTK if it now. Oh, no. We have to modify the Vue.js code, right?
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Just going to look up where it's here. And that's the right one.
So first of all, it's not called. Yeah, it's not called incident path anymore. Show path. I guess it's sorted alphabetically, right?
I guess so.
That's my assumption.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. That's not.
Okay, I don't know.
That's a different.
I got the impression from the first, and yeah, whatever. I don't mind. I assume I have
actually an open discussion in the front end.
Really? Okay. So I've never got tested, but I think I have some form of OCD, but apparently not specific to sort constants alphabetically. So I don't care.
Okay. All right. So now we can just test the actual GTK.
I think it will break because we've renamed some. I'm not sure how Vue.js works, but I guess we have to. Yeah, really? Okay.
I feel like it. No, maybe not. Yeah,
because
yeah, I feel like maybe.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, now it works.
Fingers
okay.
Crossed.
This works. No.
That's not right. No, it's not right.
Are we sure that it got compiled and all? Like we have the updates.
Pretty sure.
Okay, I trust you on that because I usually don't do JavaScript development.
So we get the show path and we pass the show path to the router.
Can we verify that the show path is the proper one?
Okay, so show path is, it's got incident. And it shouldn't.
What? Okay, why? What? But it should. It isn't. What? Wait a second. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, let's go to the production code of the helper again. Issuables. Yeah, we can close the incidents helper, I guess, forever. Oh,
okay.
So is this what? Project is issue path. Why? I don't understand. So it should be project issue path for issuable if the issuable is anything else, or like anything else as incident, right? So.
So the issue path should be different. Sorry, the issue type should be different because we're looking at it.
So the issue path, yeah, Okay, it's now I understand. So again, we are going on the, we are looking at the issue list, but clicking on an item which is actually an incident, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what is now the intent of us passing the show path? So according to our production code right now, we are passing /issues/incident because it's actually an incident. And this is this what we want to have?
No,
like,
we don't. We want it to, if we're on the issue path, we want it to stay on, we want it to go to issues/number. We don't want it to go to issues/incident number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, can we check where we actually use the helper method? Because otherwise we can just only use project. No, not this one, but the where this method is actually used. Because otherwise, because we don't need this logic at all, and just like pass the project issue path to that. Or okay, I think I misunderstood the initial intent of what we want to have the show path to be. So it's not a show path because this for the meaning of show path would be to me, if it's in incident, I want to have issues/incident/ID, but we want this to be basically the issue path, right? For whatever reason, always the issue path.
So no, if we're coming from issues list, we should view this as an issue.
As an issue. Okay, yeah.
If we're coming from the incident list, we should view it as an incident.
Okay, but
the only difference in how we view it is this left-hand side and the URL.
But now we already learned that the list being rendered on the incidents index page we are looking at right now, this is done by Vue.js code, right? So this has nothing to do with our Ruby helper at all.
Yeah.
Can we check where the Ruby helper is being used? It is only used on the issues index page, or meaning list page. So if you go up to the where is issue only initial data is defined, I think it's only up. So issuable initial data. Where do we use issuable initial data? I think we can just use issuable path again. We've been that. Okay, it's in epics, is it? Okay, there are specs, right? For epics, they are different. And we are using this in test case as well. So, and where else are we also using this in incidents as well? Incidents? No, I cannot see it. I'm not seeing this. Okay, so let me find this one. So initial data. So you're using this in issue type. Okay, so there's a partial called details content. So I guess what's can you instead of like using the show path like the method we just implemented, just use the same I think, what did we call it, the issuable path. So if you go to the issuable helper, go to issuable helper again. And
this is what we changed.
Yes, so instead of like us adding a new method, we don't need that. We can just use what we are using for the endpoint, because it's the same. Either we use just if you scroll up.
So endpoint is always issue.
Yeah, either
it's never issue / incident.
Yeah, but can we just test it? Because my assumption is that this code is only Can we just test it? I just want to verify that if it works, it works. Like we can leave it that way.
Sure. Sorry. So instead of
this we can copy. It's below in a different. Yeah. I'm fine with show path or whatever.
So show path, we just want to do this, right?
Yeah. Or alternatively, we could use endpoint in the Vue.js code. But let's go with this. We don't need to run specs if you just can I think it's fine.
We can just test it in the
GDK.
Yeah.
The other tab, I think it is.
Yeah. Just move my Zoom things out of the way.
I think it's still in debugger mode, right?
Okay. We're currently in issues, and we expect that if we click on an incident, we're going to get.
Do we need to remove the debugger statement?
We already we disabled it.
Oh, okay.
It's just waiting. It's weird. I'll try and see if this one loads faster for now. Something is wrong. Okay. So we want issue incident. Yeah, great. I disabled it. Why are you going? Okay, that's a problem because it started with the right URL and now it's redirected to issues.
Okay, so because my assumption was
is always issues /
Okay, so I understand. So I just wanted to verify that, and my assumption was wrong, that it's only used on the issues list, so it's used elsewhere apparently, which is fine. Okay. Let me think.
I know we're over the amount of time we had allocated, so if you want, we could. I'm ready to finish soon. We could continue this asynchronously.
Yeah, let's do that because I feel
it is a bit of a difficult.
Yeah, I think I missed some context here to understand like the problem, but it's fine. I think we made some progress.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a ton. This is super useful.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so let's leave it with that and follow up on the merge request. I will have a look because I sometimes see faster like typing myself, which is
for sure
often the case when pair programming, right? But it's
So if we can't do it in the back end, that's okay. We can make it work in the front end.
Yeah, that's another good like kind of philosophical question, because we already added a lot of I wouldn't say hacks, but conditionals on the front end as well already to handle incidents differently than issues or test case. I assume I'm not sure about that. So perhaps it's could be a good fit to continue this like to adding conditions on the front end rather than on the back end. So
I'll just stop sharing and I'll see if there's any questions in the YouTube thing. It's probably not.
Okay.
That's fine. Cool. Yeah, that's a good point. We could just, I think maybe be better in the front end. But do you want to have a think about it and then we'll decide?
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to have a think about it? Like
yeah, I
I
think it's doable in the backend, but I think it's also sometimes I feel like the conditions or the logic should live closer to the where it's used actually, and we can define it on backend, but we are not using this on the backend at all, other than exposing it to a front end. So
I see.
if it's only like I feel like frontend should only have enough information to handle this case. But perhaps not. So it's yeah, I don't know. I understand like we shouldn't replicate the logic on the front end to construct the URL, the different URLs. So this should be best exposed by backend, because if we for whatever reason decide to change the routes to incidents, we won't end up changing the front end code as well, right?
Yeah.
It's very unlikely, but still, so it's doable on the backend, obviously. But yeah, let's follow up on the merge request.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. So what I heard you say, well, I just want to make sure was, when we render the list of issues or incidents, at this stage, we're currently building that link to the incident, whether it's an incident link or an issue link. We're deciding that on the front end. And then we're just accepting the path on the back end. But if we were able to determine on the back end, should it be issues / or should it be issues / incident / if we can make that decision on the back end, then we should also make that decision on the back end when we render the list. This is the same decision making.
I am not sure I understood the question, but yeah, so it basically boils down to where to implement the logic of constructing a route to either issue or incident, right? And one could argue there are cases for defining them on both sides, but I also understand like defining on the backend, even if backend is not using this information other than expose or passing it to the front end. But I also understand that the front end do not want to replicate any kind of route construction logic. And it would just like receive a property, which is like, and use the property like we use in the router. So you just change incident path to show path, and it just magically worked because we created a new router based on this path, right? So I think from the front end side of view, makes sense to let the backend actually define the path. We should also come up with a good name. Yes, show path is not a good name. This is why I got actually confused by the implementation, because I was in a different mindset. So we should come up with I don't know, action path, or like kind of it should the name should make it clear that you want to stay on the current controller, right? So if we are on incident on issues, we should say within issues. We are issues incident, we should say, and so on. So this name should include this information. But yeah, we can do it on the merge request, obviously. So
okay, so we'll each have a think about it and talk about it on the merge request.
Great. let's try this. Can you push your changes so
Yeah.
we have at least kind of, it doesn't have to be now, but just you don't forget. So we have at least kind of a discussion commit. Well,
yeah, for sure.
Commit we can discuss on. Okay, perfect.
Great. Cool. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's super useful. I really appreciate this.
I hope so. And yeah, so sorry for me being a little bit rusty on navigating. It's been a long time for me to. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Catch you later.
See ya. Bye.